Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to JEC Connect 2021. My name is Peter Hopwood, and I will be helping you to unfold this whole afternoon of innovation. And it really is an afternoon of innovation, because we are going to discover the winners of three, not just one or two, but three different competitions. We've got the winners of the Composite Challenge, the winners of the Startup Booster competition, and finally all the winners of the JEC Innovation Awards. So it really is an afternoon really discovering the ideas, the concepts, the initiatives that are really shaking up the composite industry. But before we do that, we've actually got a very special guest indeed that will be joining us in just a few moments. Let me first of all take you back. Let me take you back to when you were about 10 years old, all right? 10 years old, you're at school, and I'm sure for most of us, our teacher may have asked us, what would you, if you could have a super magic power, what would it be? Some of you may say time travel. Some of you may say becoming completely invisible. But if you're like me, I would say being able to fly. Now, the next gentleman who's going to share his ideas with you right now, he had the same vision. And unlike me, he actually made this a reality. The French audience among us, you'll know exactly who this is. A very popular man, a very familiar name as well. If you perhaps watched in 2019 Bastille Day, you may have seen him flying around above the military parade, or maybe even a week later across the channel between England and France. I'm intrigued as much as you are really to hear what this gentleman has to say about his story, about his journey, and maybe even more importantly, the materials and how he's shaking up the industry and the materials he's using to develop what his vision is going to look for in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to JEC Connect 2021, Mr. Frankie ZAPATA. Frankie, you're here. Are you there?
Hello. Yeah, hello.
You are there, right.
You.
Frankie, where are you right now? I assume you're in Marseille. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I am in my house in close
You're
to Marseille.
in your house. You're not in the air. You're in your house in Marseille.
No,
listen, I'm going to leave it up to you now. 30 minutes. Take it away, Frankie.
So, as you said, my name is Frankie ZAPATA. I invent the flyboard air, exactly as you said, because my dream was to fly as soon as I remember, you know. So when I was a little boy, a little kid, I always dreamed to fly. So honestly, I left school when I was very young, like around 16 years old, and I had this passion in my mind, just flying, and I tried to go through the normal process to become an helicopter pilot. And unfortunately, I'm colorblind. So I failed the medical test. And I realized this day that I will never become a pilot. And that was a very, very sad day for me, especially when you are young and you're close to become a man. You have a lot of things in your mind that changing, and every bad news that will change your futures, you can consider it as a big fail, or you consider it like maybe more drama than is it. But because I'm a man that always come back in his feet, I decided to go forward, and I had another patience that was the sports, competitions, racing. And one day I found jet ski racing, and I fall in love about this sport for many reasons, because I love water, and I live and I born close to the water in Marseille, and also that was something like combine all my passion, like mechanics, sports, put yourself at the maximum, every time try to find your limit. And so I was kind of aspirate into this sport along 17 years. I want to say one of the best years of my life, because I was young, and I had the chance to to become professional riders. I won several world and European title over the world, and so, and it was honestly my school. So I learned almost everything I know today from my past, and I had the chance to collaborate with many engineers over the world for the three of the biggest brand in the world, like BRP, Yamaha, or Kawasaki. So I learned my job, how, but at this period of time, I believe that the skill I developed will be completely useful, and it would be not possible to use it, like useless for the rest of my life, because who needs somebody that has skilled to pilot and at the same time be able to weld and or be able to design a hull or develop an engine, because I wasn't the best to develop the engine. I wasn't the best pilot in the world. I wasn't the best athlete in the world. I wasn't the best welder or the best composite guy or the best guy to develop a hull. But I was keen to do almost everything myself. So I realized that maybe one day I will be able to use this skill to do other things. And one morning I woke up with this crazy idea in my mind that the water flyboard. Certainly, some of you already try or maybe just saw this kind of machine close to the beach. It's a machine that you can connect to a jet ski and that make you fly. And this day I said, wow, that's a very good revenge in life. I'm not allowed to fly in the air. I'm not allowed to become a pilot, but I will be able anyway to fly. Okay, fly above the water, but flying anyway. So I get this idea. I try to use the thrust of the jet ski pump, and I had the skill to do it because, as I said, I spent 17 years of developing jet ski, jet pump, engine, etc. So I start the R&D of the water flyboard in about July 2011, and it's going so fast. So the day I get the idea from the day I reached the first working prototype, I think it's about like just 4 or 5 weeks. And I remember that because one of the day that I get a crazy idea about bridging the pivoting Y under the board that make you able to fly. I wasn't. I didn't have in my shop, to be honest, all the tools to build it. I didn't have a CNC machine, etc. So I tried to find an idea to go faster, how to build things together faster. So I weld a Y pipe, and then for the connection, I use carbon fiber, and I did a kind of mold, a molding around the aluminum. And because I put some coat around the Y for the system doesn't glue, then it was able to pivot, and I test the water flyboard in the same day, So that was all the water flyboard starts. A piece of wood, a little piece of aluminium, and some carbon fiber around, So, and then it works. So the first time I put my feet on it, I was able to fly above the water, like 50 meters high. And then I realized that this invention could maybe change my life, or at least make it easier, because as certainly many of you knows, or maybe don't know if you never experienced that, but be a professional sportsman is something extremely hard. You have always to deal with sponsors, and your life is like up and down, and especially if you choose small sports like jet ski racing, your destiny even is not in your hand, because sometimes you win, but it doesn't mean like you will have more budget or more money to continue your journey. So that was extremely stressful, and I was close to 30 years old, and I already have my wife and a kid, and I really want to have a better future and a better vision for the future. And so I realized that maybe this invention can change my life. So how to communicate, how to inform the world that this machine exists. So I decided to use the social media, because it was the really beginning of the social media in 2011. And I put a video on YouTube, and boom, it was a kind of explosions on social media, internet, everywhere. Everybody called me, all my friends around the world, and because it was connecting to jet ski, it was easier for me to market, and everybody was confident because I was nobody in the world, nobody knew me at this period of time, but nobody that used jet ski didn't know me. So that was a big advantage. And so I start produce the machine. At the beginning, I believe that I will have like maybe 50 to 100 orders per year. And finally, I get 2,000 orders at the first day, so it was crazy. And I didn't have the money to start, so I had to find a way to produce it without so much money. Some investor proposed me, but I lost at this point of time too much share of my company, so I refused. The bank closed the door, so I had to figure out how to start, and some customer decided to pay some deposit, and it's how this adventure, this journey start for me. And so it was successful. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I produced and sold so far 10,000 products over the world. At the beginning, we built it in aluminum casting. That was the easiest. And then step after step, we developed new technology. So we developed a plastic injection one. On this plastic injection, we use some carbon fiber short filaments. And then we realized that our company needs another product and another water product so it's at this time that we developed the hoverboard, what we call the hoverboard. And for the hoverboard, I combined two different words. One of the words three different words, because one, it was the water flyboard world. So it's the same that it's called a hydrofly, that is propelled by water and you can fly over the water. Then one of my first patients when I was young, that was snowboard. So I tried to build like the snowboard, like the Marcy McFly overboard, but to build it, I need a board. And I remember how I built my jet ski hull when I was young with a carbon fiber epoxy and PVC foam. So I realized that maybe the best way to build the overboard will be just a water thrusters and a board in carbon fiber and PVC foam. So I started developing the product, and finally it was born, and it was another success for my company. So we produced and sold something like maybe 3,000 overboard, and so I follow a strong productions. I hire people, I hire composite people to build in-house 3,000 boards. So it was a crazy experience because the biggest things I did in the past with jet ski was to build prototypes and a little series. But when I say little, it was at this time very big for me. I produced and sold 200 racing jet ski. So and then I still have the dream. I still have the dream to really fly. I wasn't able to stop to think about what could be the sensation if you are completely released from the hose, if you are able to fly over the world, over the planet, without being attached to a hose. And I never stopped thinking about that. So I think the day I started flying with water, so in 2011, until I was able to fly with the flyboard there, I tried to discuss that with friends and family, and everyone told me you're crazy. That cannot work, and also you spend your entire life living in your truck. This is the day that can change your life. So focus on selling the water flyboard first, and then maybe you will see to try to accomplish the impossible. And then the success came. As I said, I get some money in the bank, I get some money in the company, and I said, okay, my life can't finish like this. I'm not a businessman. I'm not somebody that's only just want to grow his business and that's it and become rich and fat. It wasn't my goal. My goal was to continue pushing the limit, continues to see how far I can go. And so I decided to start working on what is called today the flyboarder. And I spent about 3 years researching how I can build it with two-stroke engines, electric engines, electric ducted fan. And then finally, I found out that at this period of time, only the jet engine can work. And so I bought 4 jet engines and I started building the machine. It took us about 3 months to make it fly and about 4 years, and it's never stopped, to keep it in the air. Because flying is hard, but making redundant, it's another story. So we spend most of the time on safety. We start to learn what is aviation, and finally, I become a real pilot. The French civil aviation asked me to get my license. I told them that I was colorblind. They say, okay, you can get your pilot license for ultralight vehicle. So I get it, and then finally become a pilot, and I start enjoying this amazing sensation of flying. And then, so just to build this machine, we had to use most of the best product on earth. So for sure we use titanium, but all the chassis and most of the parts are also built in carbon fiber. We use also some special composite with ceramic, etc. But most of the machine is built in epoxy and carbon fiber. So that's how we start with the flyboarder. And then we had an experience when the U.S. Army asked us to show them if the machine can be used by a soldier. So for this purpose, we decided to build a machine that everybody can use, not something that only a stuntman or a sportsman can try, but something like everybody can use. So we developed the Easy Fly, that is a mix between a flyboarder and a Segway, something easier to use. And same, so we changed the design. We use for this machine, we use carbon fiber tube by using filament welding. So we developed honestly, we contacted a company that developed itself the tube, and at this period of time we needed something really special. We just bought what was out of the shell, and so we were successful with this machine. We proved to the U.S. Army that the machine was able to fly, but at the end we want more. We want to be able to make flying everybody on Earth, and we figured out that even the Easy Fly was a little bit hard to control, and if you do a very huge mistake, you can lose your life, and that wasn't the goal. So we tried to develop something that bring everybody in the air without risk, and it's always start the Jet Racer project. Our idea was to build a kind of race track where you can fly a real jet car, something, and you will be able to do whatever you want, but without get in trouble or without make you hurt, So we decided to start this project. In a way to start this project, we had to develop a very strong thruster, so because a jet engine is not fast enough on a response to stabilize the flying machine. So we developed a system around that we just imagine a morning, and that give us the ability to make flying a platform. And then we decide that we have to go through the step one, that it was a flying platform, and then going forward until we develop the Jet Racer. But because we are passionate, we decide to start both in the same time. So in the beginning, we developed in parallel. So we developed all the frame for the Jet Racer. So for sure in carbon fiber and prepeg. So we design it. We collaborate with a carbon fiber manufacturer to design everything in carbon fiber. And at the same time, the team spent his entire focus 100% make flying this platform. This platform flew for the first time in 2018, and then we never stopped pushing the limit, pushing the envelope of flight, but especially also the control. And we did, unfortunately, some step forward a year ago, because everything that we found on the market, all the flight controller that we was able to find on the market, wasn't reliable and redundant enough for us to be confident to sit on it and fly myself or to fly some customer. So we decided to build ourselves completely our flight controller. And then, as everybody know, the crisis coming with the coronavirus, and it's showing us, and because even if what we are doing is full prototype and full R&D, we still need money. We still and we generate money by achieving some show over the world, and also working from some aviation company, and both of that crash. So, and it's very hard in life. You cannot have these 3 points in innovation. You can't be fast, cheap, and good. So if you cannot compromise with the to be good and also to be fast, so you have to find a way, and then if you're reducing the price, then you're reducing the speed. So at this time we lost in time. So unfortunately we plan to fly the Jet Racer in the beginning of 2021. The process is still, we're still working on the Jet Racer very hard every day. And I think we will fly very soon in the next few weeks. But unfortunately, we spend more time than we expect, and because many things happen. But in a big project like this, anyway, we still happy about the result. I know that everybody asking me, what about the Jet Racer? When are you flying? You announced that you will fly in 2020, and then we are in 2021. But I just want to say, please wait. The machine is coming. It will blow your mind. It will be a very strong innovation in new mobility. But yes, now we have to prove that what we say is right, but we will. I promise we will. So Composite has a big place in our R&D process. Everything that must fly must be at the lightest as possible, especially now because we use non-efficient way to fly, that is jet engines. It's consume a lot of energy. So the composite have a very strong place in our R&D process. But today, always we are thinking about how to make it better, how to reinforce some parts, how to make it light at the lightest possible. And for example, even the chassis of the Jet Racer are building in carbon fiber, and we try to find the easiest, cheapest, and lightest way to build. So we use filament winding, but for the Jet Racer, we develop our own carbon fiber tube. We didn't buy something out of the shelf. We developed the angle of the winding in a way to support the strength that we want and on the direction we want. So to be honest, to be able to be skilled by composite, because my past, because my JEC words, today is a really big advantage for my company, because that make me clear my mind about everything that you can use in the world. And even now we use also all the new technology like 3D printing. But I think all the engineers on every R&D team must have this skill, because it's very hard to ask to other company, what can you do with this technology? It's very important that people are skilled inside the company about how developing things and carbon fiber is one of the main parts, composite in general. So today, we are at the end, as I said, at our Jet Racer project. But for sure, it's not the end for us. The Jet Racer is something for recreational. It's something for make you fly. For all of you, get the experience of what it will be to flying a jet car, what it will be to be in the air, like in all the movie we watched when we was young, or the Hollywood movie like The Fifth Element, etc. But it's not exactly what we plan for the future. Our future, we believe in new mobility, and we believe that somebody have to build something for make you able to fly, to buy your bread, or to go to your work. And unfortunately, it will be not the Jet Racer because it consumes too much energy. So that's the reason why also in parallel, since the last 5 years, we developed a new technology, a new kind of thruster. We're using totally different technologies, no more jet engine. It's what we call hybrid. It's not noisy. It's consumed the less energy possible. It uses biofuel. And this machine is in development since now 5 years. And as you maybe understand, we build every single stone around, like the flying controllers, all the control system, all the telemetry, etc. So now, because we have all these things, we just need this special thruster that is also at the end of this R&D process. So I want to say 2001 will be a big year for us, or maybe the beginning of 2022, but many things coming. And what is amazing with Composite is from the idea, and when you start drawing on your computer and then see the machine alive in front of you, it's amazing. Today with new technology, you can just design it on your computer, and then the CNC machine start to machining aluminum, and then just the company put the carbon fiber inside, and is going out of the mold like this. It's like magic. So I'm not a woman. I don't have the chance to appreciate what is it to put a baby out of her and bring something new in this world. When you are a father, you can just watch it and enjoy it, but for a woman, it's another step. And I think for me, when I can see a product that is coming from your brain and then become reality, it's an amazing sensation. So yes, I hope that we'll be successful on this new machine and trying to make you fly, and trying to maybe change the way you will travel, and the way and maybe discongestion the city, and I hope to be able to help the world to become better.
Frank, listen, we could, I'm sure all of us could listen to you. This is just half an hour, but I'm sure all of us could listen to you all day with your ideas. And again, for the future, you haven't really shared too much with us, but I'm sure when it does happen and when we do find out what you're doing, it's gonna blow us all away. Frankie, thank you so much. And we will be, I'm sure, if you haven't had fans already looking at you now, I'm sure the people that are looking on this right now, or maybe the recordings in the future, will certainly be a fan of yours from now on. So, Frankie, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Great. Right, so there we have it. Very intriguing indeed. Lots of ideas, and that sensation of flying like he's flying around. I'm sure we all would love to feel that sometime in the future. It might actually be a reality for some of us, maybe even all of us. What we're going to do now is we are going to close this stream now, and I will be joining you back over at the awards ceremony stream. So all you have to do is go over to the agenda, click off this one, click on to the other stream, and we will kick off the whole extravaganza of awards for the composite industry. So I'll see you over there in just about 2 minutes' time.